guys, it's Coffee. Welcome back to Asagao Academy. So, a lot happened last time, and we're gonna get into that by reading some journal entries that we missed, so here we go. Dear Diary, what I don't get is why it's such a big deal. It's just D&D. Does he think people are going to disown him for playing a game? If anything, they'll think it's cool because he's the one playing it. Sometimes I feel like Jared doesn't see life clearly. And our next one. Dear Diary, what the fuck was that? Okay. I think that pretty much sums it up. Yeah, last time, Jared was a total ass to us when we were talking in front of other people, and I guess he just cares about his image a lot, but it was still terrible, just very unacceptable. And I'm hoping that maybe we can confront him during this episode? We'll see. Anyway, let's continue. The next morning crawled slowly by. I went through my normal morning routine. Shower, brushing teeth, changing clothes, doing my hair, as Mai looked on. Are you feeling okay? Yes, I'm fine. It was the 6th time she asked me since the incident, but I really just didn't want to talk about it. My seething anger had since died. Now that I could look at the situation in the relatively cold light of the new day, I didn't even know how I felt about what happened. I knew Jared didn't want people seeing that other side of him, but I never thought he was the kind of person who would throw someone else under the bus. Especially someone he claimed to care about. That was what was really bothering me. Mai kept murmuring comforting platitudes about no one remembering things like this when they were on their deathbeds, but I wasn't really worried about the embarrassment. The longer I dated Jared, the more I felt like I didn't know him at all. I'd catch glimpses of one Jared, but just when I thought I had him figured out, he'd do something to knock me completely off kilter. If I didn't know who he was, how could I say that I liked him? Or it was my duty as a girlfriend to accept all of him even when he was being a jerk? I wanted to stay mad. I wanted to hold it against him to make sure he wouldn't repeat something like that again. But I also wanted to make up with him, and to never see him again at the same time. How could that be? Is this how relationships are for everyone? They're awful. Why does anyone date anybody ever? My heart jumped into my throat. I recognized that knock. Were you expecting someone? No. Mai stood watching me for a moment. I turned to my backpack and began shuffling through my papers, pretending to look for something. Finally, Mai answered the door. Hey Mai, is Hana here? It's rather early, don't you think? It is. Sorry. I just really wanted to talk to her about something. You'd better. Mai looked at me over her shoulder, a question in her face. Do you want me to tell him to shove off? I'll be there in a sec. Could you wait outside while she finishes getting ready? Sure. Mai tiptoed over to me and leaned down to my ear. The doors were really thin, and she clearly didn't want to be heard. What is he doing here?
I don't know.
Don't ask me. Are you sure you want to go with him? He was a total asshat yesterday. Yeah, I'll say. I slipped my bag over my shoulder. I want to at least hear him out. I think. Okay, well, I'll see you in a little bit anyways. You come tell me what happened afterwards, alright? Don't be afraid to kick his ass. He totally deserved it. I smiled weakly at her. Yes, ma'am. I closed the door behind me, not bothering to look at Jared. To be honest, I didn't know whether I was supposed to be mad or happy, so I figured it was best to put off that decision until he revealed what he came for. And my poker face was terrible.
Do you want to walk to class together? I want to talk to you.
I nodded, still avoiding his eyes, and we headed down the hallway together. The few scattered girls who were running to and from the bathroom shot us wide-eyed looks. I didn't know whether they knew what happened yesterday, but regardless, it was an extreme rarity to see a boy in the hall period, let alone a boy first thing in the morning. Let alone Jared. We stepped out into the crisp morning air with happy sighs. It thankfully wasn't humid today. The sunlight poured onto the lawn, flickering slightly as clouds blew across its surface. There was silence for a moment as we both wondered what to do next. Trees rustled in the distance. It almost sounded like a storm was coming.
Anna. I'm so sorry.
Startled, I finally looked at him. His face was pained, almost like he wanted to cry.
I'm the worst type of person there is. I can't tell you how much I've regretted what I said right after I said it. I wish I did something different. And then when you left, I was too ashamed to go see you and apologize, but you deserve an apology. Not that it makes up for what I did, but I'm just...
He heaved a sigh. Before me, the confident and assured Jared crumpled like a bag of potato chips.
I'm really bad at making friends. And dating, I guess. I don't want people to get too close. I want to be perfect for you, for everyone, but I'm not perfect, and I know that. I know it's unreasonable, but that doesn't stop me from wanting it. And I'm terrified that if someone finds out that I'm not perfect, they'll just give up on me. It sounds really stupid. It sounds like something I should just be able to get over, but it doesn't even make logical sense. I've got people who care about me. I've got people who know that I'm not everything I appear to be, and they're still with me. But still, when it comes right down to it, even with someone I care about, like you,
He stopped and stared down at his shoes.
I'm sorry.
He ran a hand through his hair and laughed.
That didn't even make any sense, did it?
No, it did. I didn't know what to say. It was kind of a hard thing to process. This Jared was being stupid, but just pointing out that his thinking was incorrect wasn't going to help him. And he did do something completely out of line with me. Was I supposed to forgive him, or was I supposed to continue being angry to stand up for myself? Which was the right decision? I wanted to forgive him, but I didn't want to be a doormat. Oh, wow. Okay. Alright, so... As much as I would like to say, but still, I have a feeling that the conversation might turn ugly if we do that. Like, yes, I understand that you can't always just be afraid of offending people, and you need to stand up for yourself, but I have a feeling that the second option might start a fight. You know? And also, he seems very genuine about his apology, and I don't know. I have a feeling that something might happen again, something like this. But I mean, if he really is trying to change, it would probably be best to trust him, right? Okay, yeah. I'm gonna choose to forgive, at least for now. It's okay, at least I understand. We all make mistakes sometimes, and we're not perfect. I shot him a grin, and he offered a weak smile in return. But, you know, regardless of what other people think, I like you for who you are. I think before we started dating I had this image of you that wasn't complete. It was a facade. But now I feel like I know you better. To be honest, that makes me really happy. I know you don't want people to find out these things about you, but the D&D, the card games, these are the things that I really like about you. Way more than your perfect image. I like you the way you are. I wish I could see more of that. You don't ever have to be afraid of being yourself with me. Oh, has he never heard anyone say that before?
Hana,
In one swift movement, I was swept into a hug.
Jared.
Thank you, Hana.
Jared, people are going to see. He released me and took a step back.
Right. You don't like PDA. Sorry.
I didn't mind this time. I stared down at my fidgeting hands. Jared was glowing with happiness.
Come on, let's get you to class.
He dropped me off at the classroom and waved goodbye. Once inside, Mai nearly ran me over. What happened? Are you okay? Yeah, everything should be fine now. He apologized to me and seemed to really regret it. Mai nodded, but still somewhat put off. Is something wrong? No, I mean, he apologized after all. But the odd look remained on her face as we headed to our seats. Oh, should I have said something? Damn. Tell me what's up, Mai. Don't lie. Okay, don't get mad at me, alright? I tend to look at people's actions to see what kind of people they are. That Jared did this to you right off the bat, right after you started dating, it worries me. I don't think he's a bad guy, but still, he did throw you under the bus, I'm just saying. I mean, she's right. But if he really doesn't do it again, there's nothing to worry about. People can make mistakes. What's important is that he follows through on his words. Yeah. After our conversation, I trusted Jared. I thought he would follow through even if Mai didn't. Maya was really a stickler when it came to guys in relationships, wasn't she? I mean, she wasn't wrong either. I mean, I am still worried that because we forgave him, he might pull something like this again. But also, I think it was on our best judgment to trust him. I don't know. Now I'm doubting myself. As the rest of the class filtered in, I watched Mai gazing out the window. One question pounded into my head. Why? Oh, here's the goofy music. What's happening? I was studying at my desk one afternoon when Mai and PBG came bursting in through the door.
Hana!
Hana, I have a surprise! PBG shut the door behind them, and Mai lowered her voice. What's this about? You didn't! Hana, we snuck some beer into the school. Want to drink with us? I looked up from my work and finally noticed that she and PBG had tiny brown cans in their hands. It looked like something that came from a vending machine. In Japan, it was fairly easy to come across alcohol if you really wanted it, and most people looked the other way at underage drinking so long as you didn't cause a fuss. But they could still be suspended. Or expelled, maybe? That being said, I never had anything to drink before. And I didn't think Asagao would be so lax about it. There was a stipulation on my scholarship that said were I to be caught consuming alcohol, my scholarship would be given up. If that happened, there was absolutely no way I could keep going here, even with my father spending almost all of his money on me. It would be reckless and selfish of me to do that, even if I wanted to. No, that's okay. Well, it's good to see her being responsible. That's good. Okay, but you don't mind if we do, right? My old friends like to drink, so you can go ahead. I'm used to it. As probably could have been expected, Mai's tolerance was already quite high, and being so experienced, neither drank enough to have too much of an effect. Instead, they played board games, just slightly louder than usual.
Ugh. You took my monster out of Tokyo!
Yeah, I did, because he's dead now! Just slightly. Oh, I totally forgot about the fashion show, yeah. As Jared's fashion show grew closer, he became more and more antsy. We were already rocky enough as it was. Although he had apologized, I still felt hurt. I was trying to convince myself he hadn't meant it, or that he learned from it, but my suspicions were ingrained in my head. Maybe he was the most important person to himself after all. They did say attractive people were more self-centered. But I felt bad for even these thoughts. After all, he was my boyfriend and I should support him. No, wait. I should support him because I cared about him. Right? Nice one.
Hey, what's up?
You okay, Hana? You look kind of bummed. No, I'm fine. Sorry. Mai stared at me, obviously not believing me. Instead, I turned my attention to the conversation in front of us.
Only a few weeks left, so we have to make sure to utilize that time wisely. That's plenty of time. I think you're taking this a little too seriously. If we don't practice, Hidden Block will end up winning. Do you want that?
The group cast a glance across the cafeteria. The Hidden Block Club were competing to see who could most effectively balance the tray on a chopstick, all except for Ian, who was watching with a tiny smile on his face.
Well... An extra practice period couldn't hurt.
They agreed to have an extra practice at some point in the near future. I finished my spaghetti, almost positive that some point would never come. I headed back to Poppy Hall with Mai grilling me about what was wrong. I was about to cave and expel all of my doubts when a piercing scream hit the air. What? That sounded like Jared? Maybe? Yikes. Mai and I turned. Birds were scattering off in the distance from the direction of the field. Did you hear that? Should we go look? Yes, we should go look. We ran to the field with everything in our bodies, passing other students who evidently had the same idea. But when we got to the field, we found it completely empty. No dead bodies, no raging fire, no alien robots taking over. Lame.
Agreed.
What? Wow, have we ever seen Walid? Maybe we've seen like once before? I don't know. Oh, Walid evidently ran here with everybody else and was glaring across the field. But I swear there was a noise from here. All these people didn't hallucinate a scream at the same time.
Well... Unless you want to stay and search and risk being late for class.
No, I can't afford tardy or they'll remove me from the next volleyball match.
What? Then you should get going then.
Mai checked the time and gasped. Shit, Hana, I'm going ahead of you. She sprinted off down the way, minor clouds of dust in her wake. Walid turned to me.
I'm heading off too. Coming this way?
Okay, well... I don't know if I want to say sure. I mean, not because I don't want to spend time with him or something, but I thought I was going to investigate that noise, right? And it sounded like Jared. I feel like it was Jared. I mean, I won't fraternize with the enemy, just sounds a little silly. But what if that means we get to stay behind? Or maybe I'm thinking about this too much? Gosh. You know what, I'm a little curious. I kinda want to choose the second option, just to see if we can, like, investigate the noise and see if Jared's okay, if that really was Jared. Walid narrowed his eyes. I see how it is. Clever. Very clever. Not as clever as my plan, but still clever.
Bye.
I'll see you later then. Okay, that sounded really suspicious. He waved at me, then disappeared down the path. I waited for a few moments, then began to follow him until...
Psst.
Oh, don't tell me. Was this the right choice?
Psst.
Psst, Hana. I think that's Jared. Right? A hand tugged at the back of my collar and pulled it into the bushes. What? A hand wrapped itself around over my mouth, and someone whispered to me. Please be quiet. I can't let anyone see me like this. Huh? That voice sounded familiar. I ceased my struggling. When Walid was out of sight, I was released. I turned and found... well... What the hell? What happened? I mean, I'm glad I was right, that it was Jared. You know, this makes me wonder if, like, we never would have found him? If we would have just walked away? If we chose the other choice? Huh. Anyway. Jared.
Hana, it's awful. My face, my beautiful face.
Is that, like, mumps or something?
I never should have bothered to come here in the first place.
What happened? Are you allergic to something?
Bees happened, Hana. Bees! Those demon bugs sought me as their valiant nemesis, and I, the peace-loving Jared, wanted to make only some pretty flowers to brighten my sorrowful maiden's day.
He held up a small bundle of pink flowers. I gently took them.
But now my face, it's swollen and oh, I can't even bear to look at it. The fashion show is tomorrow. How am I supposed to go like this? I've been preparing for it all year.
Jared.
I'm so sorry. I felt guilty, even though it technically wasn't my fault. But if he hadn't been up there gathering flowers for me, he wouldn't have gotten stung. It was still partially my fault, wasn't it? I don't think fault works like that. What are you going to do now?
I can't go out like this. I can't, Hana. That's it. That's it. I'm ruined.
He threw his hands up in the air, then collapsed in a heap on the ground.
I'll be a laughingstock.
Are you crying?
Don't look at me.
I wish there was something I could do to help.
Wait!
He shot up again, a finger raised triumphantly into the air.
All right.
There is something you can do. Take my place in the show.
What?
You're perfect.
Take my place in the show, Hana. I know you can do it. You're so beautiful. You'd be perfect. I can't believe I didn't think of this sooner.
Jared, I am not a model.
I know, but you could be.
There was no way that was true. Absolutely no way.
Do you not think you're beautiful?
Not really.
What?
But how could you look in the mirror and not see it?
Oh, that's sweet. He put a finger to his lumpy chin, stroking it thoughtfully.
Is this what being a woman is like?
I wanted to say, no, rather, I think it's what being born normal is like.
But you'll help me, won't you, Hana?
I paused, conflict shredding my stomach. Modeling in a fashion show sounded like the absolute antithesis of anything I ever wanted to do. Putting myself in the spotlight for people to critique my body, my face, my hair. Even if Jared sincerely thought I was beautiful, I doubted anyone else would. But I looked at Jared's distraught, sincere, bloating face.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at it again, the sprites are actually really funny. Not gonna lie.
He was truly upset, and I could help him like this. Even if I didn't want to do it. At least for Jared.
Well,
I guess I could try it.
Hana!
He grabbed my hands in his and held them up to his face, kissing them repeatedly.
Oh, Hana, my savior, my flower. How did I ever become worthy of such an angel?
There it was again. That weird, grandiose talk. Yeah, great.
Go to the theater an hour early tomorrow, and everything will be fine. I'll be right in the front row supporting you, so don't worry. Oh, and Hana?
Yes?
Really, truly. Thank you. I can't really explain it well, but I'm glad you could see me like this.
Jared.
You should get to class, or you'll be late.
Oh, right. I'll be going then.
Be safe.
I waved and dashed across the field, hoping I would make it in time. I didn't. Miss Shizuka berated me in front of the entire class, but to be honest, I was so nervous about what just happened that it hardly touched me. I was going to be in a fashion show? In front of the entire school, in front of everybody. And why did it matter so much to Jared? Did he really care, or was he trying to save his image? I wasn't the type to do this kind of thing. I really wasn't. But I would just have to deal and go through with it. I accepted it after all, and I wanted to help Jared. Even if I personally thought anything he did to save his image was stupid, it still mattered to him. He was in genuine distress. If this made him feel better, then even if I was terrified. There was no way. No way. Just no way. What was I going to do? Okay, so I think I'm going to call it here. This seems like a good place to stop, and we can do the fashion show in the next episode, I guess. So yeah, I'm still thinking about that choice, with Walid, because, I like the choices to spend time with Hidden Block, like how we practiced with Ian in Shane's Route, and things like that, but I was so concerned about seeing what that noise was, or seeing if Jared was okay, that I chose not to spend time with Walid, and hopefully that doesn't affect my tournament points or whatever, if I win the tournament or not, and maybe I would have still been able to find Jared in the bushes if I did choose the other option. So I don't know. I'm still wondering if that choice really even mattered. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.